welcome back to another cut above with Chris, and I'm going to be using Occams shaving cream again, which looks like that. I just used it this morning for my face shave before I popped out and posted a few parcels. I actually sorted out another trade in between my last shave and this shave, so I've just sent all 3 parcels, one to America, 2 in Australia. And the soap, the cream, looks like that. It's actually got quite a nice scent. It comes out a little bit more once you actually lather it up. Probably maybe at 1.5, 2 out of the tin, out of the tub. But once you actually lather it, it gets up maybe like a 3. That's about as high as it goes. Doesn't go any higher than that, and it might even be less than a 3 if I'm honest. Very lightly scented, but cracking performing cream. I've just been, hang on, I'm just going to have a drink of that coffee. Coconut latte, anyone? Got a bit of a small lid on this one today. Oh yes. I've just been messaging the Northern Shaver over in Canada, and I'm sorry mate, I don't actually know your name either, but if you guys follow him, he's a cracking bloke, does some good shaving vids, and he's been pretty active over the past few days while he's not been at work. And I noticed he's put up his video, which I watched, with this brush, which he's actually going to be using tomorrow, or I think it might be today, but tomorrow in Canada, if that makes sense, because I'm miles in front of the rest of the world over here. The Omega High brush. Now this is a lovely soft brush, but I find it quite, there's not much backbone in it at all. So I'm going to bowl lather with this today and then do the old head with it, just see how we go. So I'm going to get a good bit of cream. I'm not going to take as much as I did for my face shave because that was just way in excess. So there you go, you can sort of see how much I've got there. Probably still too much. But when it comes to using these products, I'm never going to get through them all in my lifetime. This Occams cream, depending how I go with my giveaways, might actually come with one of my giveaways, one of my next 3 giveaways. Oh, it's got lovely slickness. I need to wait and see. I do really enjoy it. I do want to get the crushed lime, so if I get the crushed lime, this one will definitely be going. If I don't, it might stay in the den, I'm not quite sure yet. Right, so I've just soaked the brush, or not soaked it, just dipped it in water, flicked out most of the water, got my bowl ready, my Saponificio Baracino shaving grail bowl, the holy grail of shaving bowls in my opinion. And here we go, just straight in here, and let's see what we can get with this little high brush. Yeah, I mean straight away I get the scent right out there. It's a little bit of citrus in there, definitely some citrus. I get a little hint, I get a hint of cinnamon for some reason. So as you can see, look, it's doing nothing. So it needs a good dollop of water in there. I think I've just done it again. I think I put far too much water in. My last lather coated very well with an excess of water. So let's just see if this does with this brush. It's actually lathering up pretty well with this brush in all honesty. It's not the best for bowl lathering, I've got to say. I find it far too floppy in the bowl. The brush, I mean. As you can see, I'm starting to get something already sort of workable. It's not exploding quite as much as it did with the Wool Whiskers brush, the 2-band Badger. I don't know if it's because this brush is so floppy, I don't know. It doesn't seem to aerate my lathers quite as well as the denser knots do. Now this might be quite a good face lathering brush, I don't know. I don't think I've actually face lathered with this brush yet. Right, I'm just going to go with it like that and just see how I go with it. So you can see they've got a lovely shine, nice little peaks on there. There's a fair bit in the bowl, not as much as there was for my face shave, but then again I did put probably far too much cream in with my face shave. Like that. Just grabbing all this stuff from the base of the brush. So there we go. So that's my brush ready to rock and roll. Have a little drink of coffee. Oh yes. And let's wet the head. Changing it up a little bit with my head today. I'm not going to go with any moisturising creams today. I'm just going to go with the Thea's and an aftershave splash. just to see how I go. I'm finding at the moment, if I leave my hair to grow for sort of more than a day, I end up with lots of little bumps where the hair's coming through, and they're almost like, not spots, but if I pick them, they go oily. So it's almost like I've got oil coming out of my pores on my head. I don't know why. I don't know whether the head shave actually damages them and it actually causes it to seep out a little bit. I've got no idea. But I get covered on them. And if I have a shower and actually rub my head really hard while I'm in the shower, they all sort of dissolve away. So it's not an actual spot. I don't bleed when I scratch them or anything like that. It's very odd. I've had it ever since I started DE shaving my head, so it's nothing new. Right, let's see how we go with this. It's got a lovely splay, this brush, that's for sure. It's got a great splay on it. But let's say it's just not got that backbone, which I prefer. I like a bit of backbone on my brushes. And if I'm honest, it's got a little, not a bad way, but it does have, do you know this mirror over here? I know you guys can't really see it too much. I've moved my camera a little bit more this way, central to the mirror, but over there, it's absolutely brilliant for doing my head lattice. And I can actually use it for shaving as well. I know it's not much use to you guys to actually watch what's happening at the back. I'm just going to dip my tips here and just see if I can get this to explode a little bit. It just seems a little bit thin. Most lathers do on my head for some reason, I don't know why. It never seems to thicken up quite as much as the face lather. That's a lovely lather. I'm not sure if it needs any more water in it, but we'll soon find out. Why not? Right, Mule at R41. I will be using my Futu probably sometime this week, just to get it back out and get my hand back in with it again. I've still got that nick on the back of my head, so I've got a couple of little areas, I've got another little small one in the back left, but I think that was a spot that I nicked. So I've got three on my head at the moment, which will probably bleed today. If I hit them with a Styptic, they normally heal up pretty quickly and I can get rid of them faster. So let's see how we go. Brand new Asco blade, I believe. I'm pretty sure it's an Asco. I'm at 7 minutes and I've done jack shit as usual. Yeah, brand new Asco blade. I put that one in when I finished my last head shave. Right, so there we go. Now, one thing I love about this razor, touch wood, I've never ever had to align the blade in it. It just pops on perfect every time, both sides. Right, against the grain on the top, and then I'll just carry straight over and I'll go with the grain on the back. That's just the way I do it now. And these blades I find very comparable, favourably comparable to feather. Very, very nice. As you can see, that's taken off all the lather nicely. I can see over in the mirror over there that it's looking pretty good. I'm getting some good lines there, so I'm not really missing anything. Now Kyle, if you're watching, mate, Brown Man Shaves, to you guys that don't know him by name, regarding the head shaves, the reason I go to this more than the Futu is because the blade is fixed solid. In the Futu I find there's a bit of, at setting 6 at least, which I prefer, the really aggressive settings, there's a bit of blade flex in it, because it's not, the cap just clips on the top, whereas this is rigid. And there's not much blade exposure on this. This is a really strange looking razor. It does not look aggressive at all. The teeth do, but the actual razor itself, in my eyes, just looks like a nice sort of semi-open comb razor. Now there's the rain on. So on there for Kevy Shaves, bit of rain for you, mate, just to make you feel right at home while you're watching my videos for a change, instead of seeing that beautiful sunshine that I get. Slickness on the soap seems to be very on the cream, sorry, it's not a soap, on the cream appears to be very nice. At this stage I'm completely unaware of whether I've actually nicked that spot yet, or those spots, or whether I'm still blood free. But this, do you know, I really enjoy feather blades. But these Ascos, they're single wrapped. I don't think they're double wrapped from memory. They might be, but I don't think they're double wrapped. But they're not waxed like the feather is. The feather wax on it is just unbelievable. You could stamp a letter with the amount of wax you've got in there on one blade. And I just find that the wax really annoys me. And I know it shouldn't, because it is the sort of protect the blade a bit and hold the wrapper shut so you don't cut your fingers, but I find it more of a hazard trying to get the bloody blade out when it's stuck to the wax. And as you know, feather blades are one of the sharpest out there. And by sharpest, I've sort of spoken about this before, being a bit of a knife enthusiast in the kitchen, not like hunting knives or anything like that, but I do like to cook and I do like my knives. I've got to have really sharp knives and high quality knives, and most of the knives in my kitchen are global knives, Victorinox. I've got a couple of Fury ones as well, which aren't that great, they're alright, but they're sort of, I think they're an Australian branded knife. And yes, the mass produced knives, global and Victorinox, but they're in the best kitchens in the world for a reason, because they are some of the best knives in the world. But I find a difference between using a Fury knife, a Victorinox, a Global, all those different branded knives. I see a massive difference in the blade, on the edge on them, the way they're honed. Some of them have got like they're straight on one side and then they've got the angle like that, just on one side. And I use that for cutting vegetables and tomatoes and things like that, because it actually pushes the vegetable to the side. So all these blades, as much as I'm saying this is the sharpest blade, there's other blades out there that will be as sharp, but they'll possibly have a different edge on them, which will give them a different feeling on your skin when it's cutting the hair. Some will feel sharper, some will feel smoother, some will feel blunt, some will feel plucky, just depending on that edge. And depending on your hair and your skin type and the razor you put it in, will depend whether that blade works for you. Which is why a lot of people don't go on with feathers, but I find them great. Don't go on with Ascos, I find them great, but I really struggle with Gillette Go, the Mercer blades, which I watched Brown Man Shaves, used it straight out the box with these Futu. Shocking blades in my opinion, really crap, and I've had 3 I think, from different Futu Mercer razors, and they've all been shit. So it just amazes me that there's such a difference per person, or personally, for everyone to use these blades. Right, I've had a minute there just to let that sit, and touch wood, I've got no blood at all. William, I know you probably, if you watch this, I don't think you will because you don't watch the head shaves, but if you do watch it, I can't be asked getting a white towel, mate. I've got to bloody wash the thing. I'd rather just dab my hand on it and have a look. good old lazy bastarditis I've got there. Right, a cup of coffee. I wish I could show you this sink, it is absolutely stinking full of hair. I'm just going to empty it out. I can't rinse my head in that, that's just shocking. That first pass was superb, phenomenal, superb. So let's just see how we go with the second pass. The cream, really, I'd never heard of Occams until Nick Barriga, who I traded with to get it, put me onto it. I've searched the website, they've got 2 cents. They've got this one original and I've got crushed lime. Crushed lime just sounds phenomenal. That word crushed with a fruit just sounds to make, if you crush a fruit, all the scent just, oh yeah, I mean that, just the thought of the crushed lime, I'm thinking it's going to be a great scent, so it's definitely on my radar, that cream. However, I've just got that many things on the go at the moment, cash wise, including all my giveaways and other things I'm trying to get in the den. It's just not something I'm looking at quite at this moment. I've also got some soaps on the way from South Africa, from Durban area, and I'm really looking forward to using them. He's actually on Facebook, and a lot of you guys know him. He's got loads of followers for it's River Valley Trading, and Mohammed Pia is the fella that it's a family run small business, and I'm really looking forward to getting hold of these soaps and using them. He's got one called Frosty Bay Rum, and it just sounds phenomenal. Bay rum and menthol, wow. So I'm hoping it's going to be as good as it sounds. I've watched one review on YouTube so far about River Valley Trading, and it was a cracking looking performing soap, so I'm really looking forward to it. Right, enough of my snash. It's funny when I do that first pass, because here I'm literally BBS already. In fact, I am BBS there, but here I'm rough as a badger's arse. It's quite a good saying for shaving, actually, rough as a badger's arse. Considering if you buy a cheap shit badger brush, you might be using hair from the badger's arse. And the little high brush, it's performing pretty well. It's my favourite brush, nowhere near it, but it's a respectable brush, does a good job. It's soft, it's actually got a little bit of scritch I can feel on my head, not much, just a tiny little bit, but it's not an annoying, I can't use that sort of scritch. Dip the tips a bit there. But as you can see, it splays out probably far too easily for my liking. But it's a nice brush all the same. And in my opinion, unfortunately, all the synthetics just sort of trump natural hair brushes in my eyes. And it's not that I haven't tried quality. I've tried Silvertip from Bob Quinn at Elite Razors, and I've also had my brush re-knotted, which has now been traded, but re-knotted with his premium Manchurian knot Manchurian white bulb, which is like a 2-band bulb. And don't get me wrong guys, when I brought that out the box and used it, it is so soft, and it really releases the lather well. And Troy, that's been sent over to as a trade for my Black Wolf Whiskers brush, absolutely loves it. So I'm over the moon that I managed to send something to him that he's, and vice versa, we'll absolutely love what we've sent to each other. And I'm actually awaiting another parcel from him from a tray for some soaps as well, and there's some nice stuff in there that I'm looking forward to, some exciting things as well. Stuff that most people can't get their hands on, or actually probably hardly anyone can get their hands on some of this, well, one of the things that's in the box anyway, I know of. Those of you that don't head shave, you probably never hear this, but when I shave with this R41 with the Asco blade, or any blade actually, right next to my ear, it twangs like a guitar string. You can hear it pinging in your ear. It's quite a surreal sound. I can actually hear it from here. Right, against the grain on the back now. Oh yeah, very smooth. It's a very slight judder, but I get that with every razor and every blade. I very rarely don't get it. And there was a soap I used recently, and I think it was the Barrister and Man, unfortunately. The Barrister and Man Le Petit Chypre. It's probably the first soap I've used where I haven't had any judder at all in the back of my head, whether I've got lather on or not, just none. It was so smooth. His soaps will, Barrister Man, I've got to take my hat off to the man. As much as my stance in buying his products hasn't changed, his products are superb. They really are. And I would never ever tell anyone not to buy them, because it's just my personal thing. So if you guys out there are Barrister Man hardcores, look, I know why you're hardcore about Barrister Man, because it is superb. So it's just my personal stance on it, that's it. Nothing against the bloke, and certainly nothing against his products. And when I went down to the post office, got up there to post my boxes, and the first thing the bloke says to me that served me said, "We're going to stuff you in the morning." And he's on about Chelsea Man United. Trust me to walk into a Chelsea supporter to post my parcels, so if they don't turn up, guys, he's probably thrown them in the bin or something. It's the first time I actually thought, better make sure I get tracking on all of these. Do you know, if I'm honest, I'm actually enjoying this Hasco blade a bit better than the Feather, if I'm honest. It's very smooth. It's not quite as sharp, but by a minuscule amount. Really impressed with this cream. Really impressed with it. It's allowing me to go up against the grain very comfortably. I'm not getting any irritation at all that I can feel at the moment. I might just nick this little bit here. I had a little cut here my last head shave, and it scabbed up a little bit, so it might re-nick it. No, I think I'm alright. I'm alright today. Really cracking slickness. Now, I haven't felt all over yet, but I can tell you now there's not going to be much left, if anything. Yeah, that's one of the best shaves I've had. Easily one of the best shaves I've had. So I'm not quite there yet. Sorry, I'm just going to have to be a bit longer. Just grab the rest of the lather out of this bowl. So that is pretty much a spot on amount of lather for me, so I'm not having to go back to the cream anything like that, which I don't normally do anyway. I'm normally pretty good with getting my lathers pretty spot on there, especially in the bowl. The new bowl, the Sapona Feature Aracino bowl, gives me great control over the amount of lather I make, because I know how much now, by how much I've got in there, how far it's going to last me, which is good, and it takes a little while to get that with a bowl, I think. But this bowl's spot on. This lather is spot on. It doesn't look like much, I'll give that. It doesn't look super thick like a lot of lathers. The face lather I did with it, or the lather I did for my face shave this morning, was thicker and creamier. Well, not thicker and creamier, but it goes on thicker on my face. I don't know why. It just seems to go on a lot thinner when I put it on my head. Right, scoop the rest out of the brush, pop it on my head, like so. And as you can see, it's just loads, and it is thick, thick stuff. And let's have a bit of a feel about. Yeah, let's look at that lather. Beautiful stuff. How are we doing over this side? Just got to clean up the crown. I can't leave any shit lying about the crown. It drives me nuts. There's a little bit still that way. I don't feel like I've got any rotation at all today. This stuff is so slick, so cushiony. Right. Instead of just rinsing it off today, I'm going to just give it a quick. Superb. No matter how I look at this shave now, it's probably it is the most comfortable head shave I've had. The blade, the razor is just gliding on this cream. no feedback at all because it's BBS, beyond BBS. I might not need a shave for 2 days with this. Tremendous, absolutely tremendous. Right, I think that's me. Let's have a look. Oh yes. Ooh. And there we have it. What a shave. Let's have a little look for any blood spots. Nothing. I didn't think there was anything. I haven't even nicked any of those 3 spots on my head. Totally nothing. Just slickness, glide, protection, a nice mild scent but lovely, and a shave, a completely irritation free shave as far as I'm concerned so far. There's original. That's lovely. And then I'll go with the old Moose All Blue again, same as I did my face shave this morning. There's literally nothing, no stain, no irritation. Just beautiful, smooth. I love the scent of this aftershave. There's actually more sting on my face, which I shaved a few hours ago, as there is in my head right now. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful shave, really was. Alright guys. And gals, if there's any gals watching. I know Paul from South Africa's wife sometimes watches the show, so if you're watching this one, hello, and I'll leave you guys to it. Before I do go, I did say I wasn't going to mention anything that I'd used at the end of the videos anymore. I've just got to mention this again. Occams original Australian artisan shaving cream. They do 2 cents, this one, and crushed lime. It's tremendous, it really is. I'm quite amazed by it, if I'm honest. It's the best cream I've used, hands down, better than Castle Forbes, and I'm just really impressed with it. And other than that guys, I'm going to leave you to it. 33 minutes 45 seconds. I tell you what, I waste so much of my life in front of this camera. Enjoy every minute of it, but fucking hell, it's worse than going to the doctors. I'll leave you guys to it. Take care, stay safe, drive safe, don't drink and drive, and I'll catch you in the next video. Cheers.